Hello class, again, this is Sir Dino Reyes and I'm back for our new topic. During our last discussion, we have tackled the concept and development of dance, and then I also asked you to create your own definition of dance based on your experience or your perception about dance, because I know that we have our own perception and thinking about dance and how we experience it. So, some of you gusto ang dance, some of you do not. So, kaya ko hiningi yung inyong sariling definition ng dance. Something na hindi natin nakikita sa libro or nababasa sa Google or something. So, nanggaling talaga sa inyo. And you also have your first physical activity, which is the locomotor and non-locomotor movements. And now, we will now go to our new topic, which is about notes. Gaano ba kahalaga ang notes sa sayaw? So, we will be discussing about the different kinds of notes. I know you already have your own foundation about the kinds of notes. Siguro nung high school kayo, and even yung nung elementary. So, i-discuss natin yan, how is it related to dance. So, at the end of this topic, actually this is part of chapter 1, but at the end of this topic, you should be able to analyze and interpret note patterns. So, maybe through computation and even the counting. So, let's do it. Okay, so as promised, we will now proceed with the different kinds of notes. So, we have the whole note, the half note, the quarter note, eighth note, and the 16th note. For the whole note, the symbol of whole note is this one. For the half note, we have this one, and the quarter note, eighth note, this one, eighth note, and then 16th note, this one. A whole note receives 4 beats, while half note receives 2 beats. For the quarter note, we have 1 beat, and then 8th note, half beat, and then 16th note, 1/4 beat. Okay? And then we have to remember that after a note receives half the value of the note before it. So meaning to say, kung ilang beats na nakukuha ng isang note, half nun ang equivalent ng that. For example, this is a dotted half note. Ang half note, nagre-receive siya ng 2 beats, and half the value of 2 beats is 1. So this is equivalent to 3 beats. Ayan. So halimbawa naman is dotted quarter note. So ang quarter note receives 1 beat, and half the value of 1 is 1/2. So this is equivalent to 1 and 1/2 beat. Ayan. Another reminder, so ang dalawang 8th note, so this is 8th note, so these are 2 8th notes. So this could be represented by this symbol. So this is considered 2 8th notes. Same is true with 16 notes. 2 16 notes could represent this symbol. Okay? Okay. What we will do now is we will have a simple computation example of the notes. So for number 1, so this is half note, and half note receives 2 beats. And a quarter note, this is a quarter note, it receives 1 beat. So ilan yan if we will compute? So this is 3 beats, because 2 beats plus 1 beat is equal to 3 beats. So we go now to problem number 2. So we have 1 quarter note, 2 quarter notes, 1 8th note, and 2 16 notes. So again, this could be represented by this symbol. For so this is quarter note, it receives 1 beat, another quarter note receives 1 beat, and this is 8th note which receives half beat, and 16 note, 1/16 note receives 1/4, and another is 1/4. So if we will compute it, 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 1/2, 2 and a half, plus 1/4, 2 and 3/4, and plus 1/4, this is 3 bits. Okay? Number 3, so this is easy. This is whole note, it receives 4 bits, and this is half note which receives 2 bits, so this is equal to 6 bits. Ayan. So yan, 4 plus 2 is equal to 6 bits. And then this is a dotted quarter note. So remember that after a note receives half the value of the note before it. So since this is a quarter note which receives 1 bit, half the value of it is 1/2. So 1/2 ang value ng 1. And then this is a dotted half note which is, ang half note receives how many bits? This is 2 bits, half the value of it is 1. So 1 plus 1/2, 1 and a half, plus 2, 3 and 1/2, plus 1, 4 and 1/2 bits. Ayan. And the last one is dalawang half note and isang whole note. So half note receives 2 bits, another half note 2 bits, and whole note 4 bits. So this is equivalent to 8 bits. Ayan. So basically that is going to be how you will compute the notes. Okay, so we are already finished with the kinds of notes, its symbols, and the number of bits that each note receives, and then a reminder about a dot. If it is a dotted half note, a dot, the value of the dot is half the value of the note before it. Then another reminder that 2 8 notes could represent this kind of symbol. Same is true with 16 notes. So this is the symbol of 2 16 notes, and then we already have the computation of the different combination of notes. Okay, here is a simple illustration of the different notes. So this will help us in the counting of the different note patterns. So again, this is whole note, and a whole note receives 4 bits. And then, since it is 4 bits, how many half note do we need in order for it to have 4 bits? So we will be needing 2 half note, because remember that half note receives 2 bits. So 2 bits plus 2 bits is equal to 4 bits. So we will be able to complete the whole note if we will be using 2 half note. But how many quarter note do we need in order for it to complete the 4 bits? So since a quarter note receives 1 bit, so we will be needing 4 quarter notes in order to complete the 4 bits. And then for the 8 notes, we will be needing 8 notes, since an 8 note receives half beat. So ilang half beat ang kailangan natin? So we will be needing 8 half beats in order to complete the 4 bits. And then for the 16 note, we will be needing 16 notes in order to complete the 4 bits, because 1/16 note receives 1/4. So ilang 1/4 ang kakailanganin natin in order to complete the 4 bits? We will be needing 16 na 1/4 bit in order to complete the 4 bits. Okay? Okay, the next thing that I will do is I will be teaching you how to count using the note pattern. So we have examples here of note pattern. Let's say for example, in one measure, kung sinabi natin one measure is isang bar. Ayan, ng note. Kapag isang bar ng note, kapag nag-count tayo, we have to make sure na dire-diretso ang counting natin. So, sa isang bar, we only have one whole note, which means it receives 4 beats. So, kung 4 beats yan, we will only be moving. Kapag sa movement kasi, we will only be moving on the first beat. But this time, we will be using the clapping of hands in order for us to count the note pattern. So again, this is one measure which is equivalent to 4 beats because this is whole note. Diba? We have discussed a while ago that a whole note receives 4 beats. So since this is 4 beats, using our hands is going to be this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yung clapping, yun yung parang nag-symbolize na doon tayo gumalaw. Pero in 4 beats, we use that step in 4 beats. Like for example, tugs, 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 tugs. Example lang ha. So, yun ay 4 beats. Tugs, 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 tugs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pero, we only move in the first beat, but we consume the 4 beats. For example, diba, ganun natin. For example, tugs, 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 tugs. So, meaning to say, in that movement, we use the 4 beats, but we only move in the first beat. But we consume that 4 beats before we go to the next step. Okay? So, using our hands, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yung clap natin, yung nag-symbolize na naggumalaw tayo. Okay? For the second note pattern, we have 2 half note. So, 1-2, 3-4. We have to remember, I mentioned a while ago, kapag isang measure siya, kailangan natin na dire-diretso ang counting natin. Bakit 1-2, 3-4? Hindi siya 1-2, 3-4 because a half note receives 2 beats. So, kailangan dalawa lang siya. 1-2, and then we go to the next 3-4. Okay? So, using our hands is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, dun sa first beat, dun tayo gumagalaw kapag movement na pinag-usapan natin. But since we are using clapping as movement, so dun yung magiging pa natin, clap natin sa first beat. 1, 2, and second note, 3, 4. So, if it is going to be movement, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Ayan. So, that is 2 half note. Okay? Next, we have the quarter notes. For a quarter note receives 1 beat. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Since kung 4 beats siya, meaning to say we are moving in every beat. So, since gumagalaw tayo in every beat, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, para paggalaw, 1, 2, 3, 4. In every beat, tigs, 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 gumagalaw tayo. Kasi, it receives 1 beat. So, every beat, gumagalaw tayo. Okay? So, for the 8th note, ito 8th note, di ba, sabi natin, pag itong symbol, it already represents 2 8 notes, di ba? So, since half beat per 8 note, so it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so meaning to say, mas mabilis yung kanyang movements kasi in 2 8 notes, which is equivalent to 1 beat, pag dalawang 8 notes, kailangan nakadalawang galaw na nakaagad per 2 8 notes because 1 beat siya kaagad. So, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so, yan ang magiging representation niya in terms of counting. Since dalawang in 1 beat, we have 2 movements, magiging 1 and 2 and 3. So, yan ang magiging 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So, pag dalaw, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Ganon ang magiging doon. So, yan ang ating magiging, mas mahirap ito. Actually, meron din na yun yung mga 1 and a 2 and a 2. Yung mga professional dancers sila nakakaalam yung mga yun. So, for now, we will stick to basic muna. So, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Again, umpisa natin with group notes. Since it receives 4 beats, going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. For half note, 2 half notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. For the quarter notes, apat na quarter notes, so meron siyang movement every beat, is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And for the 8 notes, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay. In order to complete the 4 beats, is going to have 8 movements. Yan. Okay, so gagawin natin siya na medyo advanced. So I have here note pattern. So in every item, we have 2 measures. So ang gagawin natin in every measure, it will have 8 beats. Kasi normally, sa sayo naman, parang nasusunod is 8 beats in 1 measure. So we have here for the first measure, we have 1 whole note, 1 half note, and 2 quarter notes. So pag gagawin natin yan in counting, so again, if whole note receives 4 beats, is going to be 1, dash 2, dash 3, dash 4. And then next is half note. Half note receives 2 beats. So dalawang lalagyan natin ng beat dito. At remember, kapag isang measure, sabi natin kailangan continue ang counting. So for yung class, so magiging flash ay 5, dash 6, and then quarter note receives 1 beat, so 7, and another quarter note, 3. So yan. So for the next measure, again, pag susunod na ng measure, we always have to start with a count of 1. So since this is half note, it receives 2 beats, so this is going to be 1, dash 2. Another half note, which receives 2 beats, so so nag-assign sa 2, this is going to be 3, dash 4. Okay, that's for the 2 beats. Okay, continuous ang counting. And then 1 quarter note, 5. And then isang quarter note naman, 6. Ang beat na naman kasi continuous ang counting. Then 7. And then this is what? 2, 8 notes, di ba? So this is going to be, kasi half beat ang nag-receive ito, this is going to be 8 and 8 and. Hopefully nakikita niyo dyan sa video. So, kung kukunin muna natin first measure, go using our hands, through clapping, so gawin natin ito 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, half note tayo, which is 2 beats, 5, 6, kasi ito sa first beat na tayo nagalaw. And then, quarter note, 7, and another quarter note, 8. O ha? So, gawin natin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, yun ang magiging clapping natin with the first measure. Next measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8. Ayan. So, mas mabilis ito kasi dalawang beat in 1 gawin natin with the first measure. Clapping tayo ulit. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, tignan natin ha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. For the second measure, 1, again, tignan natin ha. For the second measure, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Again, we start with the first measure. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For the second measure, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? And then the last item, 1 and so this is 2 balik ko na. So we have 2 8 notes, another 2 8 notes, 1 half note, 2 8 notes, 1 quarter note, another 1 quarter note, and then 2 8 notes. So for the first notes, we have 2 8 notes. This is going to be 1 M, and then another 2 8 notes, 2 M, and then for 1 half note, 3-4 kasi half note is 2 bits, so dalawa dapat yung beat niya, and then for another 2 8 notes, 5 M, and then 6, 1 quarter note, and then 7, 1 quarter note naman, and then 2 8 notes, 8 M. Okay? For the second measure, 1 half note, another 1 half note, and then 2 8 notes, 1 quarter note, 1 quarter note, 2 8 notes. So 1 half note, 1-2, another half note, continue with the counting, 3-4, and then 2 8 notes, 5M, and then 1 quarter note 6, another quarter note 7, and then 2 8 notes 8M. So, pag gagamitin natin yan sa pagka-clap, for the first measure, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8M. Okay? Again, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8M. Okay? And then for the next measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. Again, 1, sorry. Next measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then after the first measure, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. Okay, then for the next measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. So that's it for the counting of the different note patterns. Reminder lang, halimbawa itong 7, no? Kung 1 quarter note siya, 7, tapos kung 2 8 notes siya, so this is going to be 7. So ibig sabihin, dalawang clapping yan. Kapag quarter note naman, na napunta sa 7, isang clapping lang. Itong 1 quarter note is going to be 7. Pero pag 2 8 note, 7. Ha? So yun. So yun ang tatandaan ninyo kasi later on we will have an activity regarding the counting of the different note patterns. Okay? So that is going to be our lecture for the different kinds of notes, the computation, and the counting of the different note patterns. So just wait for your next activity. Gagawa ako ng note patterns and then you just have to do it through clapping. No? By clapping, I mean. So, yun na. So, again, I hope you understand our lecture. Kung may kayo nilitigan, you just have to comment down below kasi may comment section naman tayo so that I will be able to still explain kung ano yung hindi nyo naiintindihan. So, again, thank you guys and God bless.